Welcome to Bingley Grammar School. Thank you, Nico, for the thumbs up. Basically, it's not what we hoped for because we'd like to have you all here. But hopefully tonight, there's a lot of folk to come and talk to you, give you some information about what goes on. Then more importantly, on Saturday, the senior team will be here to answer all your questions as we do a tour of the school. So really, if there's anything you haven't got today, please do not hesitate to either email us or phone into the school. Okay, just because we're doing this virtually doesn't mean we're not here for the next 2 weeks, so please feel free. The rest of the team are going to give you a little talk, but I'd like to welcome you to the evening. I hope you get as much out of it, and we'll be really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Hi there. Thank you for coming up, and thank you for Mr. Weston for welcoming introduction for our open evening here for the Year 7 transition. And good evening to all Year 6 students and their mums and dads and parents and carers. It's great to have you here. My name's Simon Greening. I'm assistant head teacher. I work with the Year 7 and 8 team. I'm raising standards leader here, and we're going to talk this evening about how the transition will work. Obviously set against all the COVID situation as well. The Zoom chat is on. We've got our assistant head, Mr. Basie, who's going to sort of making sure he's monitoring and trying to answer any questions as we go along this evening. Anything we can't immediately answer, we will get back to people, and we might even put together, or we're hoping to put together rather, a frequently asked questions sort of summary and get that out to everybody and email it across. If you guys have any questions or further thoughts, please feel free to use our dedicated transition email, which is transition@bingleygrammar.org. So we've had an introduction from Mr. Weston. My name's Simon Greening, assistant head teacher. We're going to have Mrs. Roberts, key stage pastoral leader, and then after her we'll have Mr. Atkinson, our assistant head, ethos, behaviour and safeguarding, and finally Mrs. Alex Dean, our deputy head, is going to sum up and introduce the parental focus group for you all. All that said, everything else, we start here. We want our students here in Year 7 and beyond to feel safe, happy, and then obviously well educated and allow the best they can be. It's really, really critical for us and our ethos that students are not statistics, that we're not an exams factory or anything else that that is out there. We want to treat everyone as an individual and make sure they're safe, happy, and then we feel that the education will work perfectly after that. We want everyone to be successful, and we expect and hope that everyone will always try their best. And we ourselves as staff and the school, we set ourselves high standards. We want our students to set themselves high standards. We want people to belong to Bingley Grammar School, grow here at Bingley Grammar School, and ultimately to succeed here at Bingley Grammar School. In terms of information, there's a wealth of information on our school website. Please, if you haven't done already, tour the website here, Bingley Grammar School. You'll be able to get a feel for what the normal day-to-day activities are like at the school. There's lots of little short presentations, videos under the transition area of the website, and hopefully there's sort of lots of stuff that will allow you to pique your interest and find out more, if you like, on the day-to-day activities here at Bingley Grammar School. So please check that out if you haven't already done so. Obviously, we've got a wealth of pastoral support for Year 7. We've got a large and more importantly, really well experienced pastoral team. They're going to be available to Year 7 students throughout the day when they join us in September. And within that pastoral team, we've got specialists and many of the staff with official safeguarding training. So we think that all our Year 7 and obviously all the students are in safe hands here at Bingley Grammar School. In terms of the curriculum, we're going to have a lot of flexibility next year, and we're going to be offering that ability for students to catch up in terms of sort of the lessons that might have been missed or the learning that might have been missed as a result of the COVID situation. We're going to be generally banding students in Year 7 based on information given to us by primary schools. We're going to be putting more time into maths and English. We're quite excited about the extra reading catch-up lessons that we've got going on. So we really have, we think, thought about the COVID situation, how we can address some of the issues there. In year 7 as well, there's a wide range of subjects taught and experienced, and we're going to try and really maintain that balance between keeping students COVID safe, but at the same time allowing students to get into those shared teaching areas, in particular such as science labs and PE areas or PE resources. We've also got tutor time, so that's going to be obviously with the emphasis on PSHCE lessons and knowledge. That's going to be built into the school day and running throughout the sort of the year on a week by week basis. So obviously we'd normally have our transition time around about now, this time of year, but COVID has pushed everything back. So it's starting in September. Year 7 are in, and unlike perhaps in other institutions, they're not back and forth. We're going to start Wednesday the 8th, and then they're in. And we're going to be spending a lot of time. We've got the run of the place on Wednesday, and most of the places on Thursday as well. So lots of time to spend dedicated to year 7 and making sure they're integrated before sort of the rest of the year, the rest of the school population joins them. So lots of time in school. They'll have time to get to know each other, time to get to know the key staff, time to get to know and familiarise with the site, and again, more emphasis on that catching up. So. Yeah, we are a friendly, please, I hope that will come across. We're a friendly and safe and happy school. Students are at the very core of what we do, and all our students, we are all about making sure they succeed with the aim to create the very best start for our year 7 students. So that's kind of our ethos, if you like, encaptured in our approach for year 7. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pass you across to Mrs. Dell Roberts, who is the head of year for 7 and 8, our key stage pastoral leader. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Greening. As Mr. Greening said, I am the head of year for year 7. I'm excited and honoured, as I always am, to be supporting year 7 this year. Over the next few slides, I'm just going to give you a brief indication about the pastoral side of things and just some key information as well. So how to be great, no excuses, ready to learn every morning, on time, fully equipped and in perfect uniform, engage and learning in lessons, and positive approach to all behaviour at all times. And of course, at least 97% attendance. The year team, myself, head of year, and Miss McGee is an excellent member of staff. I'm really honoured to be working with Miss McGee. I think you may have seen her already on the video. If you haven't, please take a look on the transition page. Again, some key staff there that are supporting with year 7 and the rest of the school. These staff you will see around and about at breaks and lunch times. Okay, lots of support. Mr. Green has already mentioned, and Mr. Atkinson and Mrs Dean will also mention how much support we do get at Bingley Grammar School here. You can contact us by phone, email, and the students can speak to Miss McGee, myself, Mr. Atkinson, Mr. Greening at breaks and lunch times. And we will get back to you as soon as we can. If you need to speak to us, please get in touch. Okay, how we reward class charts, something that I love and often look at the students throughout the year. We reward both negative and positive through class charts, and it's something we celebrate on a weekly basis as well as a termly basis. So it's key that the students also have this on their phone or iPad, and we monitor it quite closely. We like the students to be encouraged to look at their class charts and just see how well they're doing, as well as all mums and dads as well. Please make sure you have this app. It's key to the reward system at Bingley Grammar School. Again, we share successes with parents and students as often as we can. We have bronze, silver, gold and platinum diamond certificates which we love to share out as often as we can. It's a real achievement. Again, this is through the class charts, which is vital. Please log into those as soon as you get the information. Thank you. Okay, just a little bit there about equipment. The students will get a pencil case, I believe, when they come in September. Just a few items there, just so you can go and shop and buy those things over the summer. The key one there as well is the lanyard. We expect all our students to wear the lanyard. This identifies which year group they are in. It's vital that it's worn every day, and we do check quite regularly. Okay, just a few more questions here that we get asked. I'm not going to go through them all, but I will pick just a couple there. Are we allowed mobile phones? Only before and after school. Through 7 and 8, they are not allowed at breaks and lunch times. And one main question that we always get asked is, will I get lost? Yes, probably. You will get lost in the first few weeks, but please, please don't worry about that. There's lots of stuff around to help you, and I will be there. So I get lost sometimes even today. So please, please don't worry about that. Okay, uniform. Okay, so it's all black shoes or black trainers. Please have a look at the pictures there. The shoes that are allowed, and of course we have those shoes that are not allowed. And again, just a bit more uniform there. Black trousers or grey for boys. Please no leggings, jeggings or jeans. Again, some pictures there that you can have a look at just before you go shopping. Thank you. I will hand you over to Mr. Atkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Welcome, everybody. Titles on the screen, and I'm going to talk you through those things over the next sort of 5 to 6 minutes. So first and foremost, let's prepare for the first day. So what we need to do is, Mr. Green said, visit the transition part of the school website. Second thing, rehearse the journey to and from school. Parents in the past have said this has been invaluable, whether it's walking to the bus stop and finding out which bus stop they're getting on, at what time, even then traveling on a bus to get to school and thinking, right, okay, where do I enter school? And then also going home as well. So important. And just rehearsing that journey. So on that first day, they know where they're going within that. Next thing, if you're catching that bus, you need to apply for your bus pass. That's not through us though. You have to go directly to Metro. And for year 7, they get first priority on the yellow buses. So it's very important that you apply for that and you get that in now. So the next couple of weeks, really focus on that, please. Other thing for the first day, set up parent pay. And details for this will go out mid-August. This is used for everything. For example, food tech materials, buying replacement lanyards, food, really important. You really need those things and set the parent pay up. And finally, if you're on free school meals, Mr. Vasey will write to confirm this. There's a book coming, but if you don't get something by the end of term, please contact that transition@bingleygrammar.org email address to get more information. So, other things to do to prepare for that first day. Mrs. Roberts talked about the class charts. There'll be an email to parents during August to set that up. Class charts is awesome in terms of you as a parent will get a ping when your child does well. So when they come home, you can celebrate that with them. So celebrate success, not just in school, but also at home. Whether they get a postcard of praise, is that a cheeky coffee that they get from you there? Sorry to put ideas into people's heads as they watch this, but that's just something that you can work with and take part in that success. A photograph. Remember, really important, please send that in. And I said it's transition@bingleygrammar.org. And that goes on the lanyard, it goes on the class charts, so we know and can identify who students are. Massive part of safeguarding. And that other one, and Mrs. Roberts touched on it, just make sure your child, and if children are listening now, if there's a problem, they just ask a member of staff or they tell a member of staff. And that ties into this last one, a common worry. I won't be able to find my parents at home time. Yeah, because you've got lots of students coming out. But if that's a problem, just speak to a member of staff. Mrs. Dean is always on that bus turnaround. You're going to see her in a moment. So you know that first day, you go straight to, I don't know where mum and dad are. And then we'd sort it from there. It might come back into school, make a phone call, you stand with us and we'd search for them. We're always there and we're always ready to help. So we get to that first day. Now, on your first day, it's just you guys. So what we want you to do is come to the bus turnaround entrance where staff will be on hand from roughly around about 10 to 8. Because we know people on the first day tend to get here very early. All students will be given a tie and a lanyard on their first day. So parents, please don't go out and try and think, right, I've got to get a tie or a lanyard. We'll provide that and you'll get that when you go into your lessons on that first day. Remember, all purchases are by parent pay. But if you haven't sorted it, because sometimes things happen, your son or daughter will still get food. Don't worry about that. And then what will happen is Mrs. Roberts or Miss McGee will give you a call and say, it's not set up yet. Do we need to talk you through how to do it? And then through that day, there'll be a range of lessons and we'll learn about the Bingley way, belong, grow, succeed. Then at the end of the day, they'll come down and exit by the bus, turn around. We're just asking for parents, don't just stand right at the gate. You just stand back, be aware of the buses as well that will be coming into there, because realistically, there will be 330 students all coming out at the same time by a tutor group, but you've got to be aware of that. So just stand back and that will be absolutely awesome. Thank you. So, PSHCE, something Mr. Greening talked about earlier. As you can see, that's split into 6 strands. And it's underpinned by weekly assemblies each week as a whole year group. This, for me, is essential, that we have a place where students can talk and discuss these very sensitive matters with their peer group and with staff. We're doing it a bit differently, because there'll be 3 larger sessions each week, something I'll come back to shortly. Within this, we also look at LORIC, so leadership, organisation, resilience, which Mr. Greening had earlier when he had the problems with the computer. But they're the soft skills we want to teach our students. Really important. And yet again, certificates that go with that. And then when they've done 3 tasks, they get a LORIC badge, which they can put on their blazer and display and say, look, I am really good at these skills. And staff members will know that they are good at those. And then finally, the LORIC tie, for those that go above and beyond. They get all the badges. The next stage is that LORIC tie. And yet again, that all ties into PSHCE. So as I said, okay, this will be taught within 1 class group. In terms of your sons and daughters, Mr. Greening said they'll be put into bands. So imagine 3 bands. Within this, they'll have 3 main classes. And in one of those classes, there'll be PSHCE and LORIC that's taught. And essentially, this forms a tutor group where we can explore those sensitive and challenging issues. Each session will be 40 minutes long, rather than the 10-15 minutes it was pre-COVID, giving a longer amount of time to tackle these issues, which I think is great, because talking is so important, because that's how we belong and we understand what our school community is. So just coming to an end, realistically, before I hand across to Mrs. Dean. One of the key things to think about is friendships. And friendships do change when we come to secondary school. And if anyone struggles with this, they should see Mrs. Roberts or Miss McGee. And your son or daughter won't be alone. And I think that's really important that they understand that. A lot of people will go through those same feelings because of that big change. And what we do is we'll bring people together and use restorative practices where people get to talk to one another about how they feel, which is so important. And it might help them develop a new, friendship, or support an existing friendship. And finally, I mentioned it earlier, our school community is diverse. And that makes it so important because we can learn from one another. And then we have that key focus of how we belong, and be respectful to all. So on that note, I'll hand across, to Mrs. Dean. But just remember how this PowerPoint here has got lots of reminders on, and that final reminder from me is do not bring your PE kit on the first day. You don't need 5 bags. Just bring yourself. We're going to provide you with the tie, the lanyard, and the equipment. So just bring yourself on that first day.
Okay, good evening. I'm the last person to speak, and you'll probably be pleased to know I'm not going to speak for a huge amount of time. My name's Alex Dean. I'm the deputy head teacher here, and I'm just here to talk just through a couple of things. And it's welcome to everybody tonight. So the areas that I work in, I lead on staffing and teaching and learning. And when we put things together tonight, I just wanted to, I suppose, think about what makes our school really special in terms of our teaching and learning and our staffing. And I've been here quite a lot of years. I think I'm up to 12 years now. I love coming to work every day. And our staff and our students are a massive part of that. Every day, enthusiastic students learning. And in terms of our teachers, we've got a stable staff. We have a really low staff turnover. We have an experienced staff. We don't have people leaving, we have people staying, like me, because we like it here a lot. We have enthusiastic staff, and what's really important, and I hope this has shone through tonight, our staff are approachable. And that goes from Mr. Weston, myself, Mr. Atkinson, Mr. Greening, members of the leadership team, all the way, all of our staff. Your child needs something, all they need to do is ask, and our staff are there to help. So one thing I do want to draw to your attention is the parent focus group that we have here at Bingley Grammar School, and that is a group of parents who work together for the benefit of our students, and they also work together for the benefit of our parents. And the types of things that our parent focus group do: a parent focus group cafe on parents' evenings when you've rushed here, you have a long day at work and you're absolutely gasping for a cup of tea. We have a cafe running. We have meetings where parents can come and they can discuss issues and just meet other parents. And they have a dedicated email address. We keep talking about dedicated email addresses. The good thing is they all end on @bingleygrammar.org. So our dedicated parent focus group email address is parentfocusgroup@bingleygrammar.org. If you've got a question and you want to ask it to another parent rather than to us through the transition email, please use that email account and a parent will get back to you. More than happy to do so. And they know I'm giving out this email address tonight, so they are primed and they are ready for any emails that come in. So we're getting towards the end of the evening. A couple of final messages. Mr. Atkinson made reference to the fact I spent a lot of time on the bus turnaround. That is true. Perhaps it should go in my job title, Deputy Head Teacher of Bus Turnaround. Just on that first day, just to add what Mr. Atkinson said, on the bus turnaround on a morning, it's absolutely fine for you to drive your car through and drop off. However, on the evening, what we would be asking for is that you don't put your cars onto the bus turnaround. So at the end of the school day, we have 6 or 7 big yellow school buses and double deckers to pick up students. So at the end of the school day, when you come to pick up your child, on the first day, but every other day, please do not park in the bus turnaround because the buses need to pull in and we need to get the students onto those safely. So that's just a bit extra about the bus turnaround. So hopefully we're going to see lots of you on Saturday at the transition event in terms of tours, and I know that you've been given slots in terms of the schools that you're coming from, and we're looking forward to seeing you. Wear comfortable footwear, we're a big site. The other thing is we do have quite a large social media presence. So if you want to get a flavour for the types of things that are going on, we have a Twitter account, we have Facebook, we use the internet quite a lot. So please feel free to use that and just kind of get a flavour, even before you start with us, of kind of what life is like here and the things that we are getting up to. Just a reminder, if you have any questions regarding transition, we have the dedicated transition email address, transition@bingleygrammar.org. Now I'm looking around the room and somebody's going to wave at me if I've missed anything off, because if not, then we're going to pull the evening to a close. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for choosing us and that you're coming here to Bingley Grammar School. We look forward to seeing lots of you hopefully on Saturday, but as well we look forward to seeing lots of you in September in your uniforms, ready to go. We're really excited to meet you. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you.